deck, splashing the Teferi and the baby Teferis, and it's also got Gideon's in there as well. So I believe in the sideboard he also attacks for Deputive Acquittals and like other ones as well. So so it looks like both players are still shuffling up.
Okay, so we're just waiting for everybody to get ready to start drawing their openers so that we can start going ahead and
maybe Joeseph already has his hand, and then Alex
it looks like Alex is mulligan. Joe is keeping his 7. That's correct.
Sure. So hopefully Alex likes his 6. That way you don't have to wait from this this contentious top 8 action. You know.
Right.
Yeah. So like Alex Scry's here. He keeps.
All right, sweet. So he's gonna keep his on top. Likes what he sees.
And our top 8 starting. So.
Ding ding ding. Round 1 fight.
Sure. So let's just wait.
All right. So Joseph's mono white list, or rather white blue, I have not seen yet. So I'm just giving it a quick once over, and let's see what he's got going on here. He's playing a Tomic, Distinguished Advocate, instead of a 4th copy of a Nalish Marshal. That's pretty sweet. He's playing 1 Gideon Blackblade and 3 Teferis.
Yeah.
Wild.
So back in the day when Dominaria had just gone out, Scrap Heap was like splashing the mono red list with
I remember that.
The only
oh,
black card
I'm aware.
Entire card.
Scrap Heap's Grounder was fantastic.
That was it.
Some lists played Unlicensed Disintegration too.
Oh, you're right. But between those two, Cut the Ribbons as well. Cut the Ribbons.
Oh yeah, that card was great. Like almost never.
Looks like Joe here decided that Baby Teferi was enough to splash, and I think I'm inclined to agree, as both players have a copy.
Both players are.
The field here.
Everybody's playing at sorcery speed this game.
So, turn 3 for Alex here starts out with the Elf, and looks like Mana's the name of the game here.
All
so Incubation Druid
time.
taps for 1, as well as Llanowar Elves. No +1/+1 counter on the Druid there, so it's not going to create 3, but.
Right. So there's an Adanto Vanguard, which is actually a pretty good start here, considering that. Whoa, double Vanguard. Okay, this is actually looking really good, assuming no copies of Entrancing Melody. But we have a 5 for Anissa and Whelp.
And surely a land is going to come untapped here.
Whelp.
And you can kind of see the power of Nissa not only as a ramp piece here in like the whole package, but also kind of playing a mid-range game of like leaving up a blocker.
Yeah.
Sure, you have to kind of keep your land there, but
you're like, this is
as you see here, haste and vigilance just takes down the Teferi.
Oh.
Not only does she can ramp, but she can also pressure planeswalkers. Especially with Sarkhan, she can, but like alone as well.
She presses whatever she wants. She pressures planeswalkers, attackers, blockers, you.
Yeah.
Sometimes me. It's not great. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 permanents too. So that thing is going to be flying real soon if we don't do something about it here.
History Oh, Banalish Marshal.
Marshal, good enough.
Possibly
so
even worse for Alex here.
4-piece. Or we have an elephant.
We've got an elephant.
We have an elephant.
So he actually hits a send there as well.
Yeah.
So
permanent number 10. Everything's nice and giant.
Yeah. So Aspirin doesn't get to attack with the flying, but it's still up there. So
like this turn might be exactly what Joeseph needed to kind of claw back into this game, because his not having a creature start thanks to the opposing Teferi was looking a little bit anemic for those first couple of turns.
So I also need some sort of large kind of payoff here for not like stuttering, but to kind of even match Joe's aggression here. You would have to imagine you have to chain over a whole bunch of Crasises here, and then if you can get a good mass manipulation off, kudos to you, because there's a whole lot of stuff you don't want to steal on the other side. Just like, are you going to pay the life for Vanguard every time to make it indestructible? I don't think so.
Probably not against mono white.
And Adanta is a little bit better when it's attacking, because it gets +2/+0, or first strike at least. So some sort of nonsense there. So much so to the point where Alex said he didn't want to fight with it, just tells the Adanto Vanguard to eat it, at least 1 copy.
And
so another 5-mana top tier.
Also of note, this is all the way up at 7 too, so
Yeah.
she may be fairly well to getting out of range of a lot of these attacks too.
Okay, so he plus the Nissa to give out mana. So,
Yeah, so
he not only did he activate a land, but also it untapped, so it tapped 2 as well. So it's a
So
manipulation
now
here
we
for
got
3.
8. Yeah. No, for 2.
For 2, yeah. Much better at math than me. So steals the 2 larger threats that were put out on the board. So the only really good hits for manipulation there on the board, they land. So
Right.
so now Alex has a little bit more working for him than just mana dorks and 3/3 lands.
Right.
And you have to imagine for Joe, at this point, you've let the deck get so far ahead of you. You have very few answers at this point.
There's
Both players are both at 20.
a really, really long way to go if we are ever
Yeah.
going to get out of this mess as the mono white deck.
And like I don't even know where he starts either. Like he has a send. he already has a
doesn't need
send.
to count.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he doesn't need to count the 10 anymore. Even if he didn't already have 10 permanents, which he has exactly, he already got to keep the
Yeah.
city's blessing for the rest of the game anyway. But now, like, now Alex.
I can only imagine the
care.
only out really here is just chaining the other history Benalias, right? It's probably the only way out because you can't really steal him with the manipulation.
No, like the only thing that he can really do other than that is like potentially to. Oh, that Ness is at 7. No, this is.
Yeah,
Even
this is
with
at
multiple
7. He's got a
histories.
Frilled Mystic in hand. He's got a Hydrid Krasis in hand. He's got
This game, unfortunately for Joeseph, is pretty much over. He needed a much faster start than what we had available.
So I think we get to see a big boy Krasis here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Tapping for 5.
Yeah, and then it'll uptick Nissa to get another 2 mana.
Right, so 6, 7. There's our 6, 7. Uptick counters, so we have a potential 8, 9 mana if we tap that Temple Garden again. Nope. Max is 5. Good enough.
So Krasis, big boy coming in. Gonna draw 2 cards, right? Drive
Yeah.
it down. Yep. So
And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so exactly enough mana for the snake.
yeah. So Alex, very clean play here. Not leaving anything up to chance. Even if Joe did have a kind of out here, it would be kind of stifled by that Mystic in hand. So
Oh yeah. Just
not
pretty
to
much all
put the
bases
right
covered here.
yeah.
And he's just going to leave all the hard work to the Hydroid Krasis to do the attack. And it looks like he's not even going to get in with the Loxodon, or sorry, Venerated Loxodon.
Yeah.
Like, I was on board because it's got 5/5 now, thanks to his own also Benalish Marshal. But
Krasis has reach.
yeah, well, Krasis is flying; it doesn't need reach.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, man. Joe decides.
Just pack it in. This
yeah.
one's really super over.
So, Alex, Joe not really being able to leverage any kind of tempo plan against Alex, and then with a whole bunch of mana dorks, able to play defense, and then slamming Nissa on turn 4, turn whatever.
Yeah, it was like, turn 3, I have mana and a access to Teferi, and then turn 4, I still have my Teferi, and oh look, here's a Nissa on top of it.
So, well, let's get on to sideboards.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
I really like Alex's sideboard tech here because he has not only the Tolsimir, the friend to wolves, right? But he also has the Ripjaw Raptors.
Here.
So the Ripjaw Raptors, whenever they enrage, they get to draw a card off them.
Oh,
So
they're
blocking
really
is just gross. And then I can imagine the entrancing melody comes out in the main for at least like one of the Raptors. And then you might want Deputy Attention as well, just to kind of play some sort of interaction.
Right.
But I can't imagine you want any of your like counter spells in here. You just kind of like want to play a mid-range type game, which Alex's deck was already playing pretty well.
Yeah,
it's
seriously,
considered.
fired on all cylinders there. So Joeseph actually got quite a few options here, and his sideboard is seemingly pretty well set up against what Alex is bringing. We've got 2 copies of Deputy Detention and 2 copies of Baffling End if he wants to stifle the mana midgets. We have 2 copies of Disdainful Stroke if we want to handle either Nissa or any of the creature capture spells. 2 copies of Tecatli Honor Guard, which don't do anything here but are still nice for other matchups. 3 copies of Dovin's Veto, which I don't think he'll be siding in here, but we'll see. 1 copy of Ajani Adversary of the Tyrants, 1 copy of Gideon Blackblade in the board to accompany the one in the main, and a 4th Teferi Time Raveler.
Yeah. So I like the additional copy of Teferi just to bounce things. Like if they take control of one of your things, you just bounce it, then you get it back into your hand. You get to play again.
Nice, yeah.
It's not
another
too horrible.
elephant. That part's sweet.
The Honor Guard, is that how does that affect Crazy? It's just completely shut down. It shuts down the card draw, but does it shut down the counters too?
No. It enters the battlefield with the counter, so like that's just part of its casting cost. So like that doesn't do anything there because it's not triggered. It just enters the battlefield with the counters. I mean, of course, it doesn't do anything to the cast trigger. So you still get to draw your cards, still get to gain your life.
Yep.
And I don't believe anything in Alex's list has an enter the battlefield trigger. So I don't think that card does anything.
Well, Frill Mystic, but
oh, I mean, okay, that counts.
yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Ding, here's your flash guy. That's still gonna trade with your guy. So
yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right, so I guess it shuts down the Mystic, but
so
even
Honor
still,
Guard,
there's
we're probably
only
not
2
looking
of
at that, but
we still have 2 Deputy Detention and 2 Baffling End and the extra Teferi. If I don't think we build in Teferi, oh, he's already playing 3 to deal with the mana midgets, and then just the 2 copy of Disdainful Stroke, but probably not the Dovin's Veto. You don't want to oversaturate your deck.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think at some point you still need to kill Alex, so having the cheaper bits of interaction is probably where the speed he wants to go out here.
Oh yeah. But he could definitely pour in like those 6 cards, the 4 removal spells and the 2 Disdainful Strokes, so that he has a plan against the Nissa end of things, but at the same time can still like handle the mana midgets and force him to get rid of them in a way other than just combat.
Yeah. So
I think that's going to end up being hopefully the plan that Joeseph goes with for this next matchup.
Yeah. And he'll be on the play, so that certainly helps his more aggressive strategy.
That's a good look for the mono white list.
So if he gets either Aspirin out real quick or anything can really just lead to it. Legion Landing, shout out.
Sure. Like being on a 2-1 deck against a bunch of land werewolves, it's not where you want to be in life on the draw, so being on a play is going to do Joeseph a whole lot of good here. Having a decent time.
Yeah, and it was a little...
Yeah, smiles on Joseph's face, even though he kind of got stomped out game 1.
Yeah.
So
happens. It happens. I'm sure it's not the first time it's happened today for him. So
right. I mean, you play mono white. Sometimes you know what you sign up for when you build a deck.
So.
But whatever.
I'm sure game 2 gets underway here. Hopefully both players keep at 7 here.
7. Hate watching people mulligan in the playoffs, man. It's like you did all that work to get here, and then this is gonna happen to you. Come on, man, not here.
It's like pulling teeth.
No, Alex, we just had this talk. We were just doing good.
So with looking for early pieces of interaction from Joseph's list here, having all the different main board cards come in here. There's again, there's the countering interaction with the Dovin's vetoes and everything, but I think in general his earlier game plan doesn't really change much. I think like he doesn't even cut some of his smaller ends just because of how much better maybe Law Rune Enforcer is the only thing I could like think of cutting, just because like you're not going to tap a mana dork that's already tapped. So I think at that point it's the only time it like slows down. So
I'm actually gonna say I don't think I would specifically cut Law Rune Enforcer, because like the 1/2 can just get through both the Paradise Druids and the Llanowar Elves when you're already attacking on the play.
Yeah.
Instead, I think the card that you might want to cut is one of the 4 like Snubhorn Sentries.
Yeah.
Because that card just doesn't do anything on its own. And since you're trying to play, 3 drops like Deputy Detention, it's going to take a little bit longer for you to be able to, guarantee that you get to 10 permanents so that it becomes a 3/3.
Well, the best 1-drop in white, currently in standard format, Legion's Landing coming out.
Oh, we
So
had
it
to
looks like you
start
might
that.
even be
Oh,
playing a second copy just for the vampire
just
trigger alone,
Get all the.
and that's what ended up happening.
Alright,
So,
looks like we kept a one lander.
but with 2 Legion landings,
What?
probably a couple other one drops.
Yeah. Are we playing
he needs to be
L2? Are we
fast.
playing a Paradise Druid? We need to. Oh no, not like this.
Oh. So he entrancing melodies for 0 grabs the token,
Oh well, at least
which
we have
is
a
going to
second
slow him
land.
down a lot.
That is, man, that's gonna mess that up quite a. Oh no, he kept in the sentries too.
So
So we got
he can
1, 2,
still
3, 4,
trigger
5, 6
Legion Landlands
permanents
after
total.
this. So Alex was a third
Maybe.
land drop here.
Are we getting Deputy Detention here? What's
I
happening?
think Brontodon's going to come out here. So the old 3-4. No,
Oh, we're just gonna bounce a token.
that's fair.
Yeah, bad times
That's
all
fair.
around. And now Teferi is in no danger since there's 0-3s, and I think
Yeah,
this is
no,
the
you're right.
exact plan that I was talking about siding out the Snubhorn sentries for, because this situation will just happen to you sometimes.
Yeah,
They'll control you, you won't get to 10 permanents, and now you're stuck with 0-3s when your goal is to attack, and it's just bad times.
yeah. No damage getting through, but the lifelink on the vampire token.
Right, so like
Still
now-
still working in Alex's favor here.
All he can hope for is like a land, so that maybe he can play a Vanalish Marshal that may or may not be in hand. Hopefully he has the land and the Marshal. There's step 1.
Step 1.
Is the Marshal there? Is that the
He has
Marshal?
Teferi.
Krog goes wild? Oh, that's a
History,
history.
Benalia.
No, he's untapping with Teferi. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 permanents. So
I don't think it'll be the end of the world though. Just on 4 mana. There's not much you can hit. So
I mean, it's not like he's playing anything and he can't cast Time Wipe this turn. Actually, he's not playing Time Wipe at all. Never
So-
mind that.
yeah. So he actually elected not to deal with the History of Benalia. Besides, the extra night token is not worth sacrificing his Brontodon immediately.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was gonna say I think he might have wanted to at least try to like sneak in an attack with the 3/4 first,
Maybe, yeah.
because I can't really imagine too
But
much
certainly
other
not a
reason.
conservative line from Alex's
Oh no.
side of the field. And that's
We
Ascend.
did it.
So
Nice
City
City's
Blessing.
Blessings token. All right.
So
We have flyers. We have aggression. We have lots of stuff happening, and
So again, Joeseph taking another conservative line here. So hopefully he's not punished by the pace at which he's playing here. But I feel as though waiting to attack in with 4 Power Knights as opposed to 2 Power Knights might be a little bit better. So I can,
Oh, yeah.
and
just
at least I can justify his actions here. But
oh yeah, no, it makes perfect sense to me, because now he's gonna get to flip his Adanto first forward. He gets to have all of his 3/3s attacking. His Sky Marcher Aspirant's gonna be a flyer, and now that Alex is gonna have a max of 3 blockers, that Nissa is probably not gonna be too long for this world unless this 2
No, I
mana
don't think
does
so either.
all.
even
I mean,
still,
3/4s are better than a 3/3, but
but they still
if
trade
this
with the
draw
Knights.
is a Banalish Marshal,
Yeah.
then the
it's-
Snubhorn
it-
Sentries just
Knights.
attack for free.
Yeah.
Like, all Joeseph needs is one basic Lord effect for this draw to go from being fine to being absolutely wild.
Yeah.
And do you know if Sky Marcher Aspirant is a vampire soldier or a vampire knight?
I believe it's a soldier.
Me
I'm
too.
almost positive it's a soldier. But boom, vampire soldier.
Vampire
So,
soldier, okay. I never remember which types are which.
yeah,
but-
it's a vampire. That's all you need. That's all
Yeah,
you need.
right?
Yeah, there it is. So
But-
ascend,
all right, so
flying
I
2-1.
suppose a 2/1 flying is
Yeah.
still not a 4/3 flying, but these things are good to know.
So deciding where the vampire token that's not even his to begin with goes here.
Right.
Looks like in front of one of the knights.
Okay. Wolf.
So then here trades off a knight for a Brontodon and a vampire there.
And a vampire midget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're worried about what a really big Hydro increases. So we're tapping for 2, 4, 6, 8.
Yep, this is going to uptick here, so
boy.
it's got to be a big boy X spell.
Here's 9. I'm tapping 11, so we can currently cast a Hydro increases for 9. Make that 7.
Yeah, so that one's also good. So 9, yeah.
Even numbers, I'm with it. Get that extra card.
Yeah.
Oh, all the extra cards.
I don't know, it's just a...
oh, no, we're just going to steal all your stuff instead. Never mind. Well, yeah, City's Blessing on the other side. This game is looking real rough.
Oh, does Ascend enter the battlefield, or is it just at any point? It's at any point,
permanent
right?
enters the battlefield, then it checks every time it's bad.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it's not like the guys can attack this turn anyway,
Yeah.
but as soon as he plays a land or anything else next turn, it's pretty much,
But,
I think. And then even
but he
if
takes the whole crew of snub horns, or
Yeah,
snub
this is
downs,
bad.
yeah.
and he can even use the fairy tick down and just get rid of that token too.
Yeah.
Well, not going to, but he could have.
So yeah, I think like you said, the Sentries there kind of being delayed with the Ascend trigger, especially kind of putting with the small windows of time that Alex bought, even like stealing the token for 2 mana and everything. It looks like it was almost enough to get Alex to turn the corner to the point where Joeseph has pretty much no way to get in this game. He's got Banalish Meister for his...
Banalish Marshal he wanted last turn.
yeah. Last turn, that might have been pretty good. But now it's not looking too hot.
Not the turn.
So we'll see what
Now we're
the
at the
top...
point where, well, now he has the City's Blessing.
Yep. So Hinterland Harbor coming off the top. Gives his
Now all he's
Aspirant
gotta do
flying,
is
buffs up his
Banalish,
sentries.
Or even, or just bounce the token, doesn't even care.
Yeah, bounces the token. Do you think Teferi Time Rattler is a good magic card? Like,
yeah, it's a fair. Oh no! Even has a Tulsamir to fight it. Oh,
yeah.
this is so
like,
bad.
This is,
oh man. So Alex here is going right back up to 20, so that he can have
Crime
the full
Watchers. I've like to witness a murder.
Flawless Victory going
Yeah.
back up to 20 has all of his permanents other than lands. Like this is just a super rough shenanigans all around here.
So even forgetting any type of line targeting the History Benalia with the Thrashing Brontodons, which the only thing that the Brontodons would even come close to hitting is the Benalias, and they're not even doing that. They're just an actual 3/4/4/3. And there's a handshake. So.